I'd like to welcome Jeffrey Shee. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Carol, for having me.
Let's start off with the first question. What do you think are the primary functions of a Board of Education trustee?
Well, Board of Ed is really on the top level, try to set up the policies for the school districts. And then when the school is running, board provides oversight to make sure everything is run smoothly. But just maintaining the status quo is not a good option. So the board will also be create a shared visions for where future education program would be. But lastly, I think BOE trustees and the whole entire board is try to communicate the ideas to the public, to the parents, so to help them to make informed decisions, right, in the critical matters like school activities, curriculums, the financial matters like budgets and bonds.
Thank you. What do you foresee being the most difficult part of serving on the board?
Oh, wow. The most difficult part is probably the time commitment to the programs. Being a working parent, I actually tally up all the hours, the required activities for a board members, and the number I came up is 146 hours, not counting the graduations because I just don't know how many hours those would take. Could be longer than expected. So that is a huge commitment, and to make that happen, I just applaud all the past board members to make all those personal sacrifice and build Great Neck Public School to be the #1 school district in the state. Just unbelievable, and it's a great honor to even think about it in those terms.
Thank you. If you were magically on the board tomorrow, what would be the initial things that you would like to do within the first 6 months?
Well, this bond referendum in the past really divided our community, and without the financial backing of the budget, right, and the bond referendum, the school is really running in very scary situations. It is just inconceivable if we had this budget defeated, let's say, God forbid, twice, then we will be running on a budget, austerity plan and a shoestring budget, and that's just not fair for the kids, the future of our community. So I'm deeply concerned, and this is something that collectively, as board members and the community at large, we need to address it, and to make sure to bring everybody on board, to build our futures.
Thank you. You were given this comprehensive list of all of the functions that board members try to attend. Which do you anticipate you might be able to attend?
Well, obviously, I like to attend all of them, but it's it's not realistic, right? I hate to overpromise and underdeliver. That's just not me. So I will attend all the evening meetings, activities, things like that. During the daytime, I will make my best efforts, right? Looking at the activities that's involved. If it's really dear to my heart, such as technology issues, IT initiatives, things like that, definitely I will make efforts to be there and lend my support, right, to those activities. So. That's how I will handle it, going forward.
Thank you. There's been much talk about continuing to find ways to increase the revenue in the district. Can you enumerate what your suggestions might be to increase revenue?
This is actually tough, being a school is a public school systems. There is limited means of bringing in, private donors, things like that. So I really need to evaluate the situation, because I have ideas to bring in, private funds, establishing scholarships, or have a business on Long Island that we have parents who are maybe the CEOs and decision makers to engage our kids, give them, let's say, programming opportunities as an intern, on those levels, right? So we can better prepare them. But we have to be careful. I just can't overpromise that, but I'll try my best to bring those things to fruition. And I think increasing revenue is basically we have to think outside box a little bit and see where it goes, because our community have very, very smart people, and together, collectively, I think we can think of something, within the rules and the boundaries of public school systems, but then, make things happen for our kids.
Thank you. Aside from personnel costs and operating expenses for the buildings, a significant portion of the budget for school districts in New York goes for unfunded mandates. Could you explain what some of those are?
Well, unfunded mandates is like a program usually on the federal or state levels where there's a No Child Left Behind program, things like that, and also more dear to our heart, let's say special education programs. That's also a unfunded mandate, and school bus. So it just take for instance the special ed is a $30 million budget. Out of the 220 million some overall budget numbers, so that's like close to 15% of that. So that said, is basically our school is using our own resource, right, money-wise, to pay for the mandates in the school. So the way we see it, and then we try. I know the board members in the school tried in the past to engage our legislators, in the local levels, try to bring those funds back to us, so we can have the additional funds to improve upon our curricular program for the AP students, for the special ed, for the early drop-off program, right? So we need to do that. I mean, our hands are tied because, we even administer the state tests, right? Those test costs are passed on to the school. The state's not paying for that. That's just not right. We are an educational, facility organizations. We shouldn't be worried about, paying those operational costs. That's we shouldn't be paying. So.
Well, thank you so much for being part of this interview and for coming.
Thank you very much, Carol, for having me here. And I just think this is a great opportunity for us to unify our communities and make it better. Personal difference aside, and we need to make sacrifice, but the kids are our futures, and it's something we worth invest for, and that will be the legacy we will contribute to the Great Neck community.
Thank you.
Thank you.